Going. Welcome everyone to Football Matters. Welcome to our live stream. We've got my team, Scotland, going up against Czech Republic. I'm joined by Big Brendan. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Very excited for this, which should be a ripper. It's Scotland's first game. We've just had England versus Croatia. They're leading the group stage, obviously, at the moment with their 1-0 Skadgy win. How did you see the England-Croatia game?
I was expecting a lot more, but normally England play boring football on the Southgate, but they actually played some amazing stuff at times. They were unlucky not to win by 3 or 4, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they controlled the game, didn't they, as well? Phillips was particularly good, just playing that centre defence midfield role as well. He controlled the game very well. So, good start for England, 3 points, and they don't often do that at Euros.
They play well, and they've got a lot of young talent as well, so they could go far in the competition as well.
One of the favourites. Well, we're talking today about the Czech Republic versus Scotland. Scotland haven't been here for a long time. We have to go back to Euro 1996. The last time we played in the Euros, 98 was the last time they played a major tournament. And not a lot of hope. We're the second lowest ranked side in this competition. All to do, but we do have a 2-0 win record against the Czech Republic. The last 2 fixtures, Celtic run. Rangers, Scotland won even. Quite interesting as well. The Australian centre forward, now Scotland, in his second game, scoring the goal that time. So that'll be interesting. Do you reckon Scotland can make it 3 in a row against Czech, or do you reckon the Czechs might have something up their sleeve?
That will be a good game. It could go either way. I'm probably sitting on the fence. This will be a draw, I reckon. Maybe a 0-0 1-1 draw this game, but anything's possible in the game, so you just never know.
It'll be interesting. It's going to be a weird game, this one. We know that the Czech Republic aren't very fancied. They're only 4 places above us in the world rankings, but they are a tough team to break down. They were very impressive at times in qualifying as well. We do know the last time these two sides played, though, that was in back where we are now, Hampden Park. Ryan Fraser with the winner in a 1-0 win. And before that, it was Dykes and Christie with a penalty back in the Czech Republic. So it's going to be an interesting game. They've played each other recently. You would say, though, Czech Republic are pretty more full strength this week, than they were the last time out. But first game for 25 years for Scotland in a major tournament in the Euros, so it should be interesting to see how we go. What are your score predictions? And you said a draw. Are you going to go 1-1 or are you going to go 0-0?
1-1. I think there'll be goals.
It's going to be entertaining. We're hoping for a great start for the boys in blue. Some side notes in this game: we've got Scotland's record at the Hampden Park is 135 wins, 60 losses, and 63 draws. So good home form there from the Rangers and from the Scotland. So let's get around it.
Yeah, it's incredible home form. Jeez,
pretty good home form. I mean, it might need checking in the terms of the quality of opposition that the Scottish have played, but it should be interesting. Let's say we've got Jules here joining us as well. Good day to you, Jules. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can indeed.
You can't. Oh, wait, my camera. Fuck. Where's my camera?
So you can see that it's a raucous home crowd, a good home feel for this game for Scotland. Scotland being a bit diddled in this as well, because we have to play England at Wembley, which will be a great game.
Yeah, that'll be a big game as well. England, Scotland.
Should be an exciting fixture. On the Czech Republic bench, though, interesting, there's a player there that if any Liverpool fans are tuning in, you might want to keep an eye out if he comes out there. That is Adam Hljek, the youngest member of this squad, 18 years old, and the top goal scorer in the Czech League with Sparta Prague with 15 goals. He's highly tipped by Jurgen Klopp and is expected to sign for them at some point this year. So, very talented player. Good day to you, Andrew, as well. Got a few of the Blue Abroad boys here. Who are you backing, Andrew? Let us know. Better be Scotland. We got a Souček to score a double. He's been in sensational form, hasn't he, for the in Premier League as well. He's been a very good player for Czech Republic and his home club. So he'll be one to watch out for. His West Ham form's been incredible, hasn't it?
Yeah, his Souček's had a great season at West Ham.
Should be interesting. Andrew doesn't give a toss who wins. Well, I mean, cheers, mate. It's good to know the camaraderie is there from Blue Abroad. Up the Poms, Andrew says. So, I mean, that'll be a good one. So, this is the warm-up. That's a very horrible kit there. That's going way back, the pink and yellow number for Scotland. There we are. Jules is back. Good day to you, Jules.
Hey, how you doing? I just had to fix my camera. It wasn't really working properly. Actually, just once I go to turn my light off.
All right.
I'll be right
Enjoy.
back.
Tell you what, there's some good shirts there, isn't there, in the Scotland crowd? People's faces painted. Good, exciting atmosphere as well, because the SPL Rangers, as we know, my team, we took it home, but there wasn't any crowds this year much. It was a bit disappointing for us. No one got to go and see it, but 12,000 fans packing Hampden Park is a good sign that everything's returning to normal post-COVID.
All right, I'm back.
Hey there, Jules. Why didn't Snodgrass make the squad from Jim? I don't think his club form warranted it. There's a few players ahead of him as well in this Scotland team. There's a few players that people complained about didn't get in there. Ryan Gould being the big one in Scotland forums, tore up the Portuguese league. So 2 wingers that didn't make the squad, but Snoddy would probably be in there as a guy who was unlucky. So what are your predictions for this one, Jules?
I actually can't really give one because I'm not familiar with either team.
Just say 2-0 Scotland and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess 2-0 Scotland.
There it is. That's it. So we've got the ball being presented. Look at that.
I kind of know Scotland's team because some of them do play in the Premier League. I'm not too familiar with the Czech Republic team. Actually, let's pull up Euros squads. Yeah,
the Czech Republic, they've got a few names that could be household names.
For them from West Ham United, but that's the only one I'm really familiar with.
Yeah, you've got West Ham have got 2 players in there. They've got Kufal as well, their centre back.
They got a Burnley player, Vidra, Vidra, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, they've also got the legend that is, if anyone watches the leagues in the UK, you've got Callas as well, centre back, who I do believe he is in the starting lineup today.
They have about 4 Bundesliga players, and they have 3 Serie A players or Serie B players. Hang on.
Yeah, they've got a few. Slavia Prague as well. No. Slavia Praha are heavily represented, who were undefeated in the Czech League as well. They were sensational this year.
Yeah, so 3 Serie A players, 3 Premier League players, a Championship player, and 4 Bundesliga players, and a Super League Greece player. So, and they've got a Liga player, the goalkeeper. But I don't know if he's playing Vaklik or something.
Yeah, they've got a good representation as well from around world football as well.
They got a few different countries in their national team. Just looking at the Wikipedia page, and if you look at the Scottish one, it's mostly just Premier League. I think some Championship. You got one from the Belgian league, and then you got some Scottish league players.
Yeah, we've tried to. We do keep it very much at home. Scotland enter in this game as well. 5 games unbeaten. Only 2 defeats in our last 16 games. So I mean, it's we're in a little bit of form at the moment. Scotland will feel very confident. Our captain, Andy Robertson, given most of our experience in major tournaments as well. Like you say, 26 of our players come from the Premier League. So it's a strong squad, but it's going to be tough, this. While we are here, though, we will wish happy birthday to, and I don't like to do this because he is a Celtic player, but Callum McGregor, it is his birthday today, turns 28 today. So happy birthday to Callum McGregor. Well done, mate. Happy birthday. You don't often get that from a Rangers boy. But we're friends today because Celtic and Rangers, the rivalry ceases just for today.
Yeah, I've heard about the old fan. Apparently it's like really, really intense.
Yeah,
in all the one of the biggest rivalries in world football. Celtic Rangers. It
is very intense, very intense. I used to hate having to cheer Scotty Brown on for the boys, but there it is. So the boys come out now, pick the ball up. Lovely to see. We've got a question here from Josh. Is John Suttar in the squad? He did not make the squad. No, he didn't, unfortunately.
Isn't there a Socceroo named Suttar? Harry Suttar.
Well, he plays for John Suttar plays for Hearts, so he's had a pretty good year this year.
I'm thinking of the Socceroo one, Harry Suttar.
Yeah, so he's had a long-standing hammy injury, so he didn't quite make the squad. But he was in pretty impressive form in the SPL this year, in the Scottish League, in the Championship down there. He was playing very well. So it'll be interesting. We've got the players out here. As we hear, I think it's the Czech anthem first. I've got it on mute, so. So we've also got the news as well. Christian Eriksen, thank God, he's up and well, evidently. So
yeah, I heard he recovered really well from that heart attack or collapse, whatever it was specifically.
So yeah, the announced date was a heart attack. So we wish him all the best. We wished him the best last night. Wish him the best again. You don't want to see that in sport at all, but well done, all the powers that be, for getting to him really quickly as well.
Is there a reason there isn't just a Great Britain national team instead of like different individual, like England, Scotland, and whatever?
It's a hot topic. It's why we don't enter the Olympics, because Scotland's FA is strongly against it because they feel like we'll lose our identity. We did it for the Olympics in London, but yeah, it's something that you'll find Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland particularly don't want to do. But I mean, it could be something I could see happening in the one-off. I think all the home nations agree that they don't mind entering the Olympics. Their fear is FIFA will force them to do it, which it'd be sad because there's something great about watching the boys, and hopefully we should.
Because in other codes, it's just great. Yeah, you don't represent like England or Scotland. You represent Great Britain. Like Andy Murray, for example, represents Great Britain instead of Scotland when he plays tennis, or when he did play tennis.
Indeed, yeah, and you also find as well that he's Scottish if he loses. He's British when he wins. He's Scottish if he loses.
Yeah, I get that whole thing.
And there we are. We've got the Flower of Scotland played, an absolute great anthem, the unofficial national anthem of Scotland.
Is that John McGinn?
Yeah.
Number 7? Yeah, he's a good player.
Big John McGinn. And there's our mercurial captain there, Andy Robertson.
What's the crowd limit in Scotland? Because in England, it's like 20%.
It's 12,000 at the moment.
Oh, okay. In a 50,000 stadium, that's not too bad.
Yeah, Scotland's been heavily affected, but this is it. 20 odd years of hurt. And the boys prepare to right some wrongs. Never got out of the group stages as Scotland. Ever got out of the group stages. So I'm old enough to remember the last time we entered it in 98 at the World Cup and 96 at Euros. What was the opinion, Pommy, on the camera showing CPR? I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. I thought it was a bit distasteful, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's a public world now, isn't it? These guys are in, so they can't even get any privacy when things are like that. But it was hard to see. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Mwamba and Mark Vivian Foe as well. I remember watching that game as well. So it's happened a few times in my existence, but I thought that was just distasteful. Put it that way. What did you guys think? Were you guys? Did you think that went a bit too far?
What?
Yeah, they should have. They should have taken the camera off him.
Yeah, that was horrible. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there.
I can't promise I'll be cool and collected again when Scotland play. It's
if you want to burst my eardrum, go for it. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. If you want to be like passionate because Scotland is scoring goals, I don't mind. You know,
they do kill me. They do kill me. These boys. But the wonderful thing about these boys is, if you are one of the Carlton fans who are here watching, this team here will play with heart and pride. So that's one thing that this team does every time they come out. They leave it all out there. So they are a pleasure to watch. Hoping for 2-0. I'll take a point. Let's see here. We've got some questions coming in. Do you boys see Gerrard getting offered a bigger club? Feel he's waiting for it. I think people will be sniffing around Gerrard. He plays a wonderful
I think you're pressed big on just the Rangers. Even if it's like a championship job. Maybe not the Premier League, but like probably championship.
I think he's holding out for that. I can see the dream move being Liverpool. So as we can see,
he definitely wants to.
Yeah, sorry.
He definitely wants to manage Liverpool. I'm pretty sure. Like, he's made that pretty clear that's the dream move. But I think Liverpool are going to hold off because he's still too inexperienced, in my opinion, to manage Liverpool. Like, it was a bit like that with Frank Lampard at Chelsea. Like, they play a good brand of football, but they just don't have that experience yet.
Oh, that's a huge job
to like manage the big teams.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. It is a learning curve. We had a little bit of a sub-story here as well. Scotland have refused to take the knee. So they have confirmed they'll take the knee against England, but they have not taken the knee at Hampden Park. So that's a controversial side project. I don't particularly agree with the decision not to do it. I think they should, but fair enough. The SFA don't agree with it. So interesting that as well. One of the few teams that hasn't done it.
I think the take knee stuff is kind of just dividing football fans or dividing football from its fans. Like, you see, like, they end up getting booed when they do take the knee. So,
no, I think I understand. I know a lot of Scottish people were genuinely against it, didn't like it. But I mean, for me, I respect the players' decisions to do it. So, been decided not. So, Scotland having a bit of the ball here as Robertson plays it in.
Yeah, they have most of the possession, haven't they?
And overhits the cross.
Maybe Czech can play that sort of counter-attacking football.
I think they'll look to. I mean, one thing with Steve Clarke's sides is he genuinely tries to give it a go. He is very offensive, more on the front foot. So you're going to see a bit more of an attacking game than you did against England last night. He doesn't mess about. So there's Sylv Harvey there. Coach.
I'm just looking forward to how like the whole Euros like take shape after the group stage.
Should be interesting.
Finish third and then still make it to the knockout stage.
Yeah, you can. There's some players for Macedonia last night that actually looked really, really good too.
If you're a third place team, you shouldn't. That's just it. You're knocked out.
Yeah, I think the old traditional way was probably better, but I mean,
it's a cheap way of just making more money, just having more games in third place teams in the knockout stage. Like, at least make it that's like, say, all the first place teams and like the two best second place teams, and you have just 8, 4, and then a final.
No, I agree.
If you finish in the bottom half of your group, you have no business making it to a knockout stage, like at all.
We are. I mean, no, I agree with you. As there we are. Scotland make a routine mistake there. That's great to see. Fantastic work there by Stephen O'Donnell there on the right wing. Motherwell player, 7 games in the qualifying. He actually went well, but that wasn't his best work. So you're going to see the Scottish Perlo here as well. You're going to see Scott McTominay. He absolutely buzzes for the boys here. You'll be very impressed with his work. So we've got a throw in here at halfway line. Stephen O'Donnell, he's known for his long throws. Not Delap-esque, but he's got a decent peg on him. So you both were doing the England-Croatia game. What were your thoughts on that? England, one of the favourites for the tournament. Did you see it that way last night?
Look, I think they'll go far, but I can't shift from Portugal or France winning the Euros. Like, to me, it's going to be one of those two. They're just too good. France and Portugal are just too good.
I'm thinking it's either France, Portugal, or Belgium. I see England dropping out in the semis.
I think it'll be an interesting one because I think for me, Southgate's too negative.
I think England are the Tottenham Hotspur of international football in the sense that they just have like small country syndrome. Like they can kind of go far, but just not actually win anything big.
I think that's a fair comment. I mean, for me, the most
Euros and the World Cup, and they haven't won a Euro yet. They've won one World Cup. The Euro is probably a bit easy to win because it's lower quality like teams that enter because it's like because with the World Cup, it's like the best 32 from all over the world. But because the Euro brings in teams from just only Europe, you get some of the lesser quality European teams. It's an easy tournament to win, and England never won it in their history, like at all. So I think they have that sort of Tottenham Hotspur syndrome of just we can go far, but we can't win actual major trophies.
I think that's fair.
And they have Southgate as well, who's, in my opinion, not that great of a manager. I just think semi-finals and they drop out.
Oh, chance here. And classic. No, I agree with you. I think that they're always the bridesmaid, aren't they, in major tournaments? I think 96 was their best chance. And we remember they were probably...
I think they bottled the semi-final against Germany. Is that what happened?
Yeah, if you remember, there was a stud away, Paul Gascoigne.
I was not even...
Makes me feel old. I was 10.
It was. I just remember they talked about it on the kickoff.
Yeah, it was stood away from Gascoigne scoring in golden goal. That's how long it was.
Wasn't that the game where Frank Lampard hit the crossbar and crossed the line, but they didn't pay it?
No, that was 2000.
That
was 2010.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah, that was the.
It ended up being a game changer because that would have given them momentum going into the second half, and then they ended up losing like 4-1 or something. What's it, 4-0?
Yeah, it was. I remember watching that and having a bit of a chuckle in the pub. Where do you rate Cathal as right backs in the Premier League? Top 5. He's a very good player. I'd say he'd be close because I think there's a lack of quality of wing backs, right backs, and left backs now. Like I think there's, I don't think there's as many as people think there is in the Premier League, but I think he's very good defensively and he can also overlap and get the ball. And I think he's a very solid player.
What's
I'm a fan.
Is it's becoming a more important position on the field than it used to be?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because it used to be that like if you had good good forwards, good centre mids, good centre backs, and a good goalkeeper, you could get away with having weak fullbacks. Now teams rely very heavily on their fullbacks. You look at Liverpool, without good fullbacks, they're half the team that they normally are.
Yeah, Spawn. I think players like Trent Alexander-Arnold, they've totally redefined it.
If you take TAA and Andrew Robertson and replace them with average right and left backs, Liverpool is probably 60-70% of the team that they would be with those two in the team.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing as well, defence, that if you actually look at Liverpool, particularly this year, they lost Gomez and Van Dijk, and they struggled.
That was a big disruption.
And I think it shows you just how important as well defence is in the world game now as well, where it didn't used to be. They're so technical now, these defenders.
Good defences. Yeah, good defense wins you titles now. Like, the defense is everything in a team now.
Let's have a look here. Question for you, Palm, and the rest of you. What do you think of technology in football? For me, I love goal line technology, but I hate VAR. The rest make mistake, but I hate technology. See, I'm not a fan of VAR. I think it takes way too long. I think part of the charm is going down to the pub after a game and blaming the ref for the most blatant offside you've ever seen. I think human mistake is a good thing for me personally. I think it slows the game down. I like the goal line technology, but some of these offsides this year as well, you know, with the armpit offsides, absolute madness for me and ruin the game. What do you guys think?
I think that the people implementing VAR are not paying attention to how it's implemented in other codes. If you look at tennis and rugby and AFL, just as examples, video technology is only applied in relation to point scoring or lack thereof. You don't see, like in AFL, they're reviewing, say, a high tackle in the middle of the field. They're only reviewing scores. With VAR, they're reviewing red cards. They're reviewing, well, obviously, okay, the offside's fair enough, but they're reviewing penalties. They're reviewing red cards. They're reviewing fouls. They're reviewing like the most minute things instead of just making it specifically, was this a goal or not a goal? Like if VAR was only used to measure offsides, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But when it's like using to determine if someone deserves a yellow or a red card, then I have more of an issue with it.
I'm with you there. I'd like to see 3 challenges for the coach, and the coach can challenge any decision. Like, I'd agree to that.
I mean, rugby, the captain's challenge, but they only get 1, not 3.
You see, I wouldn't mind 1, 3, whatever it is. Like, you know, in the tennis, they've got the 3. I wouldn't mind that. But I think, like you say, there was some games last year as well in the EPL where there's like 8 or 9 stoppages, and it's the fact they play on as well, and then say we're reviewing it as you play. I'm not a fan of it, but I am old, so it's probably more of a young person's thing. VAR, they'll get used to it. I'm just stuck in my ways.
Like the concept of it, I think is really good.
I think they have to adapt the offside rule as well, because you're having like millimeter offside, not millimeter. You having goals not being given because like of a millimeter offside, like fractions of a fractions to it. Even when you look at it on the replay, you can barely see the difference.
I agree with you.
I think it was like a Mane goal that got disallowed when Liverpool played. The margin between him and the defending player that was keeping him offside. Like if you look at the replay and we'll put the lines measure up, you couldn't even see the gap between the lines. Like the lines were literally touching each other. So you're talking fractions of millimeters at that point.
The FA have announced that they are reviewing that, and they are going to go back to the traditional definition of a part of the anatomy that is legal, which is the official definition of the offside. So they are amending that, because that's usually what the linesman looked for back in the days when you used to have to use your eyes, not a computer. So just over 10 minutes gone, 0-0 at the moment. And Riley Starray, good day to you, big Blue Abroad fan, big Pommy and Oz fan. Is that a rugby? It is indeed. Yeah, it's a little bit nippy out here, so I've gone with the thicker shirt, my friend. So kids are still awake, so if I watched it in the living room, you'd get maybe a toddler jump on me. You don't want that. Good question though, Riley. Throw them at me. Jim Faz agrees with you here, Jules, as well. He says that if you've got to draw a line and zoom in to check an offside, it shouldn't be offside. And I think that's spot on.
The idea of the offside was to prevent, like, you know, like goaltending and things like that. It wasn't done to, like, keep players completely behind the defensive, like, behind the opposition defender. It was designed so, like, someone like Harry Kane doesn't just sit in the penalty box waiting for balls to get lobbed to him. That's what
I agree with you.
So VAR has actually taken away the initial purpose of the offside rule. And there's always a thing of, you know, give the benefit to the attacking team. That's completely gone now because they have video technology. So VAR had good intentions at the start, but it's just proven to do more harm than good, to the point where they just need to get rid of it.
Well, they should VAR that there, because the cap's in there.
Also, part of like what makes sports is the fan experience. For a fan, it's more frustrating to watch.
I agree with you.
And at a time when, you know, sports across the world are sort of losing viewership because of, you know, the COVID pandemic and the lack of fans, when you have an empty stadium and that gives you less of a, like, kind of takes away the incentive to watch the game, you have even less again when you're dealing with bullshit VAR decisions. So, especially,
I agree with you.
Especially considering how COVID has kept, like, up until now, it's kept fans out of the stadium. I think the COVID just, the VAR just does more harm than good to the actual game. So I'll just get rid of it altogether and
I agree with you.
Just expect people to understand that like referees aren't perfect.
Spot on. I mean, the referee wasn't perfect there. Derrida went down like shot.
It was a problem because if you get rid of it now and like say the next Premier League season, there's like a blatant offside not given, people are going to say if VAR was around, that wouldn't be a goal. Like I'm talking for players like, offside by a full body length and the referee doesn't put his flag up. They're going to then say, oh, well, if you have VAR, that wouldn't have been given, that kind of thing. So it's created VAR's just created a whole range of problems that weren't really factored when they initially brought it in. So, yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, what were you saying, Jules?
I was the one that was talking.
Oh, sorry, Brandon, sorry.
Yeah, Brendan.
I was just going to bring up the point, like at the start of the Premier League season this year, like players were deliberately heading it into players' arms so they'd get penalties for VAR, and then they changed it so that like there has to be like a clear and obvious handball. Like if you're in motion of running and it hits your hand, it's not going to count. So they are adapting and changing. The offside rule is like it's there. It was like the way it was done before VAR. VAR ruined offside. Because a striker's not going to perfectly time their run every single time. They're always going to be either a fraction, like this. They're not going to get it perfect every time. So like you got to like take that into consideration. Like I think that if you have to zoom in to a point where you can faintly see, and like if you see people getting called offside because their arms offside because they're calling for a through ball, they're pointing in front of them on their offside. Like to me, that shouldn't count as offside because you're calling for a ball with a body part you can't use. Yet you still get flagged offside.
I agree with you, bro.
It should be only offside depending on the margin. So like if you have so like if it's say like if the margin between the lines is actually visible, then it's offside. If the lines are touching each other, it's not offside, something like that. There needs to be some sort of middle ground where you can say, yes, there is, technically a toe or a foot that's goal side of the defender, but it's not an offside.
Chance here. Great save. That's what we want. That's what he's paid for. Dave Marsh.
If they're going to keep VAR on offside, they just have to rewrite offside legislation, I think.
No, I agree with you. I'm 100% behind you. Josh asks here, is VAR in this tournament? It is being used for this tournament. It is much to the chagrin of many of the national teams in this. As we got a corner here, it's whipped in. And there we are. Number 14 there, Janko just kicks that into the pond at the back of Hampden Park there. Horrific effort. 0-0. 0-0. We've got a few chances here as well, haven't we? It's been quite an open game.
I think having VAR in UEFA Euro actually ruins the experience for very casual football fans because you'll have fans that say don't watch like regular season football, but they'll watch like the Euros and the World Cup because it's a one-off thing they go for a couple of weeks. If VAR is like slowing down play, they're going to be less likely to watch those games. So I think it affects them that way as well.
No, I'm with you. I mean, for me, there's something magical about an international tournament that's rigged by FIFA as well. Like we like them South Korea games and stuff like that.
That's another thing with FIFA. If you're going to be all, that's nothing with like the VAR. If you're going to be adamant that it exists, maybe just only have it in domestic competitions like the Premier League, La Liga, and Champions League. Don't have it for international tournaments because they are what sell the game to like very casual football fans who otherwise wouldn't watch the sport.
No, I agree with you. No, it's
like a lot of people like make fun of soccer. They'll watch the World Cup just as something to do. So you want to make the visual experience for them as enjoyable as possible. You're not going to do that with something like VAR.
No, I agree. No, spot on. Spot on. As here we are, Scotland just building from the back there. There is McTominay, the Pirlo of this side. Absolute beast of a player.
He gets a lot of criticism, McTominay, from like United fans mainly.
Yeah, it's because they don't see him for his national team where he turns into Pirlo, mate. Honestly, guy's a jet.
I don't think he's bad. I think he doesn't suit Ole's system. And I don't think
Freddie. It's a weird one.
McTominay.
It's well, I mean, I don't think Fred should be anywhere near British football, to be honest. But nice little bit of work there from Scotland's midfield. Overlap. Oh, and there he is, Lyndon Dykes, half Australian, Gold Coast born. Not a bad effort. He was there, wasn't he? He was asking for that near post. He was asking for it. Steve Clark there, he loves it as well. Interesting as well, Steve Clark. Played at Chelsea, was instrumental behind closed doors at Chelsea. We know he was the assistant for Zola, Kenny Dalglish's assistant, highly rated. We know Mourinho is a huge fan of him, was at Chelsea and his backroom staff. Now at Scotland. Going really well for us. Thank you. Just getting a tea deliver. They are, you see. Yeah, it's a proper stream, this. Got a cup of tea. But yeah, Steve Clark doing well. Doing wonders.
I do like the way this game's panning out. It can go either way. Both teams are looking really good.
Yeah, both teams look close to scoring so far, and
Yeah.
20 minutes in.
Ball comes in. Oh, look at that. It's dangerous. It's not textbook by Hanley. Hanley, interesting selection as well. Didn't play in any of the qualifiers this year, but is the favoured centre-back player. Grant Hanley, big Norwich player if you follow the football down there. Did I ever want Sir Alex to manage Scotland? Well, he did do it. He did actually do it, a lesser-known fact, in the 80s. He was the emergency manager for us when we went to the World Cup. So he actually coached us in the 86 World Cup out there. Due to there was a death for us, he took over the side. Jock Steen, Clapston died just after we qualified for the Euros in the group playoff, actually. Against Australia. So Sir Alex Ferguson did coach us at that World Cup. There was many times we tried to get him, but unfortunately he was too loyal to United. Before they got Sven-Goran Eriksson, the English actually offered him more money than Sven, and he refused to do it. So, yeah, we've had him once. I was 1 year old, but we could never get him back, bless him, but would be great. Would be great to have him. It would be great. Even now, love a bit of Sir Alex. David Moyes, another name here from Jim. Good day to you, Jim. Yeah, he's another player. He's another guy. I think Moyes is more suited to club coaching. He's doing wonders with West Ham. What do you guys think of Moyes as Scotland here on the attack? Christie just taking the piss here as it breaks down. What do you think of David Moyes and the job he's done at West Ham? He's rebuilt his reputation, hasn't he, at West Ham?
It's the best work he's probably done since he was at Everton.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of became like a laughing stock when he managed United because, he took in the sort of average team that Sir Alex left behind and did next to nothing with it. And then, he did a bit of, I think he managed a bit in Spain. He managed Sunderland. Now he's coming to West Ham United and he's made them a borderline Champions League contender. And this is a team that under Pellegrini was almost getting relegated. So I think he's actually done very well with West Ham United.
I personally thought he was a bit stiff.
Was a big boost as well to the team.
I thought he was stiff at Man United. I really think Man United should have given him more time. I think that job was the hardest job in football, replacing a guy like Sir Alex Ferguson. Many times in soccer, we've seen it as well. Brian Clough taking over from Don Revie, who was a great manager himself, couldn't get it going, only had a short tenure there. It's hard to replace someone that is so influential in a dressing room.
That's what I never understood, like with the Glazer family, whoever made that decision. You've got a very average team in terms of like the actual list itself. You're looking to replace one of the greatest managers of the modern era football, and you're only give a guy one season. And maybe Moyes wasn't the right man for the job, but at least back the guy, which they didn't do at all.
No, I agree with that. The signings were horrible as well.
Yeah, what was his first sign? Like Fellaini or something? Good God.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, they got rid of the director of football. The guy.
Yeah, that didn't help as well. Like a team that once had bloody Paul Scholes in midfield now has Fellaini in midfield. What a bloody...
Loved a bit of Fellaini, though.
What a collapse
Gotta say, I loved a bit of Fellaini. There was nothing better than seeing Fellaini go to centre forward with 5 minutes to go when you're chasing a 1-1 draw?
Well, United at times could get the use out of him, but I don't think he belongs in like a league title winning team in England. Maybe like a Europa League team, but not a team that is pushing for silverware or that just won silverware.
Fellaini and Mata, Juan Mata as well. Juan Mata, what a player! What a player is Mata.
Yeah, he won a Champions League with Chelsea. Juan Mata.
Player.
Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to win anything with United. It's not his fault.
Be interesting though. I mean, you'd expect
from a few years ago.
I think he's got the European medal.
Yeah, he was in the 2012 Champions League side for Chelsea when we beat Bayern Munich.
I mean, the 2017 Europa League with United. Was he in that team?
Yeah, he was.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he got the medal. Old Juan Mata, right?
They also won the EFL Cup when Mata was there. Mata's won a couple of trophies at United. Nothing major. He's won
none of the major ones.
Yeah, he hasn't won Champions League, hasn't won the Premier League, but he's won some smaller titles.
United just a bit too big though, like to count Europa and the Community Shield and the League Cup.
Kind of lulled themselves down to
the FA Cup 2015. I think they've got
to the point where like a Europa League final this year was considered somewhat of an achievement. They even blew that.
Do I think Ole is the right man for the job at United? I think he is. I think they've done the right thing. I think they've stuck by him. I think he's building something now. You can see it's starting to go back to the United of old. It's not quite there, but you can see he's building something. I think with the right people around him, I think he definitely needs a proper target man up forward. So I think Harry Kane fits that bill. I'd like Haaland, but I don't think we'll get him. Sancho, he adds something, a bit of width and a bit of creativity. And we definitely need, in my opinion, another centre-back, whoever that is, who knows. As the cross comes in, and look at that.
I agree. I think what Ollie's doing, like I watched Mark Goldbridge's That's Football. He had Ben Foster on, and he's like, even because obviously Ben Foster used to play for Man U, and when Ollie was a player there, he was also a player there, and he's just like, he's good friends with people that are playing there. He's like, his man management is apparently second to none. Like he's really, really, really good man manager.
I think he gets them playing. I think he gets them playing in the right way. I mean, I've got no issue with him. He's
legit 3 big signings, like a big centre back, Jadon Sancho, and a big number 9 off taking them to a league title. Or serious contenders for a league title.
But you look at how they've gone so far under Ole. It's been pretty questionable. Like they lost the Europa League to Villarreal.
I think that was a bit. That felt like a honeymoon, though. I think it didn't feel like that was a proper United side. It felt like everything was wrong about that. Fred should be nowhere near the starting 11.
Well, they started De Gea knowing that like Henderson can save more penalties, and it went to a shootout, and that's where it all went haywire.
Will United sell Jesse Lingard?
He had something like 2 shots on goal for like the entire first half, or even the entire game.
Yeah, it's very negative.
I didn't watch the game, but I just heard about how the game panned out. Apparently, it was just really bad play from United, and that was in a final. So
it was very tentative. And I think Ole needs to learn to give it a go. As Jim Faz says here, will United sell Jesse Lingard? And do you think they'll try and sign Declan Rice? I think they'll have a go at Declan Rice. I genuinely do. I think they'll have a nibble. I'm not too sure why they'd want a CDM that can play centre-back. I think they'll probably play him at centre-back. That looks like his best role. I like Jesse Lingard. For me, I didn't like it when he went to West Ham on loan. I think Lingard has got something. I just don't think we use him right. So I'd hope to see him back because I'm a big fan of Lingard and what he does. What about you guys? Are you a fan of Lingard?
Lingard's actually a very talented player. I just don't think he fits United right now. He's not what United needs, and I don't think United is what Lingard needs.
Yeah, if I was Jesse Lingard, I'd be
looking
for a move.
I think the relationship doesn't work between those two. I think it just works so much better at West Ham, and that in terms of United's need for creativity, they have Fernandes.
He's brilliant as Bruno as well.
Yeah, he's class, absolute class, and that's he's the main reason why like Portugal aren't going to be an easy team to beat because they've got his creativity, Bernardo Silva's creativity. You know, they've still got Ronaldo, although he's old, he's a goal scorer, and then you've got Joao Felix, a young kid as well. They've got a perfect balance of experience and youth.
And with United,
and that's what makes
a backup creator to Fernandes, but I don't think Lingard is that guy. I think he needs first team football.
Yeah, he needs. Yeah, he needs first team football.
Well, Czech Republic there, they had the overlap and they chose to go backwards. Weird decision. I'm not bothered about it there, but he was streaming down the right wing there. The ball was begging to be played. One thing to notice about Scotland is they're very rigid in their defensive structure. So we saw Lee Griffiths there, Celtic striker, who's no longer playing international football. Good to see him, even though he plays for the wrong side of Glasgow. Good to see him watching him. I'll forgive him. So the tempo of this game's just gone down a notch. It was quite a strong opening 25, but just 10 seconds past 28 minutes, it's teams have started just to feel each other out. So it feels a bit nervy, doesn't it, this game? It feels like no one wants to make a mistake.
Yeah.
With some of the movement.
I think because it's only 3 games in the group stage, they're afraid of like sort of dropping a point. Because like if you drop a point in the Premier League, like you're going to have the 30 plus games. When it's the group stage, you're afraid to drop a point in any game at all because that one game can be crucial. Like if Scotland goes 0-1 after this, and then they have England and Croatia in the next 2 games, that's going to be very costly. So I think they're just very careful about not doing anything wrong in this game. It's probably the most important result as well because it'll sort of set the tempo for the rest of the group stage. So I think that's probably why both teams are looking to play more cautious.
Yeah, I agree. And they're not in an easy group, are they? Either of these 2 teams, like.
Well, this is like a 6-pointer. Yeah, this is like a 6-pointer. This.
Yeah.
Like if you win this, you get a good chance.
Because they both have to play England and Croatia in their remaining games, and for both teams, that's going to be difficult, like very difficult.
Yeah.
Great question from Jim Fraz. I know it's early in the tournament, but who has been the most impressive side? I don't know if my mates Paolo and Mars and Rocco are watching. I'd have to say their team, though, Italy impressed the hell out of me early doors. I thought Italy looked brilliant. Thought it was a very good performance. They look hard to break down. They've got some attacking talent. Mancini does wonders with the way they play. I think Italy will be tough to beat because they're hard to score against, which is part of the battle.
Close. Was that Robertson?
Yeah, it was Andy Robertson. And it was saved too. It was a great save. Jeez.
I think you guys are like.
Yeah, he got tipped over the bar by the keeper.
I think you guys are like 5 seconds ahead of me.
We're 31-25.
Oh Jesus, you are. But yeah, there's been some impressive. I think Italy, for me, they've been one of the best ones.
Yeah,
I've watched maybe like 3 games so far, so I can't say who's at the most. I think Switzerland were disappointing against Wales. I think England were lucky to get a result against Croatia because both teams were poor there. I don't think there's really been like a standout team yet. Maybe Belgium, I guess. Maybe Belgium's probably been like the most probably in terms of being impressive, probably the most standout team so far.
The thing that I worry about Belgium and Italy is how old their defenses are. Like with all these young kids in the tournament that have legs, and they don't have the legs anymore. You know, like once they get done, they're done. Like
there's quite a lot of 34 to 36-year-olds in this tournament, like across the entire spectrum of the tournament.
I think with Italy though, like the wonderful thing about them is they're just defensively brilliant. I think that's one of the wonderful things about Italy is they are tough to break down no matter what you say.
But look how
they always have been, haven't they?
Look at the Serie A. That entire league is known for its defensive structure, the Catenaccio system.
It is a very, very tough system to break down.
And then you look at how Spain play with their passing game. That's very reflective of the tiki-taka style in La Liga. It's like the national team kind of mirrors the domestic league in some ways.
Yeah. Spain do play a very boring football. It's just pass. Turn back, pass to the centre back, turn back, pass to the goalkeeper, pass it to the fullbacks, go back to. It's just it's so boring to watch.
Well,
but it is effective.
It won 2 years in a World Cup in the space of 4 years.
Yeah, it's very effective. Like I'm not taking anything. It's just boring to watch, but it works
Exactly.
because they score one goal and then they just pass around the back line the whole game. Like it's
Well,
effective.
other than England, most Europeans don't really care about entertaining football. They just care about the result. It's more England that puts an emphasis, probably more so on actual like creating entertaining football. But like Italy, Germany, Spain, France, it seems to just go for like results over attractiveness.
No, I agree with you. It's
probably
spot on
why
there.
did so well in those leagues when he coached in Portugal, Italy, and Spain. But then he got results in England as well. But he kind of probably gets more criticized for how he plays in England when he does manage in England.
No, spot on. What time have you guys got on your thing?
He also kind of changed the scope of English football when he managed. He kind of really changed how the game was played in 2005, I think.
Nah, spot on. He's there's some good. I mean, there's some great managers out there. There is some great managers. I mean, Jose.
He outpaced Sir Alex and Wenger definitely.
Like Jose, I know he cops a lot of flack, but he's a very good manager. He is a very good manager. What time have you guys got on your screen?
I got 34:55.
I've got 34:47.
Excellent. There we are. I've caught up. I've caught up with you. There we are. Damn streams. So I mean, it's the first 35. It's been quite an open game. It's been no side you would say is particularly on top. But as Josh says here, quite on, the Czechs are very wasteful. They probably like that quality in the forward half, and Scotland doing what Scotland do. They're just soaking it up and looking for that counter. So it'll be interesting in the last 10 how this goes. So we've got some good games as well, haven't we, coming up this week? Obviously, France are one of the heavy favourites, aren't they, this year? They kick their campaign off in the next couple of days. So they begin their game against Germany, which is 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning for us. So that should be really interesting to see if they live up to the billing. As Jim Faz asks, Holland, could they be a dark horse? Don't think so, but they play great attacking football. Well, he's another coach like David Moyes that needs to rebuild his reputation, and he's done it brilliantly with Holland.
Yeah, Frank de Boer.
He's done very well. Former Rangers legend, him and his brother.
Former Dutch legend as well.
He is, but
that one pass to Dennis Bergkamp, that I still hear that commentator.
His iconic moment. The De Boer brothers were very, very good. Hey there, Rocco. I was just talking about you, saying that Italy have impressed me. So nice of you to join. We're 37 minutes into Scotland's opening fixture, 0-0. As it's with the Czech keeper. So, I mean, it's always tough, these Euros, because as we've seen in some of the games, like the Italy game's a great example. It was a fantastic board draw at one stage, and then they came alive, Italy. So anything can happen in these games. As we build from the back, that's what I love to see. Love to see Scotland in control. Interesting as well, Scotland. In all my generation, it's always been 4-4-2, and we play kind of a 3-5-2 nowadays. We're very modern.
4-4-2 is really getting phased out, isn't it, in football?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't work anymore, man.
I love a 4-4-2.
Yeah, but the way the game's played now, you really need those numbers in midfield.
Yeah,
I love a 4-4-2. I still feel a little bit sick when we release our team sheet and I see 3 centre-backs. Still makes me sad. Remember the glorious days. The glory old days.
Now that like a lot of teams rock up with the 4-2-3-1 and it just overloads the midfield if you play a 4-4-2.
Forza Azuri.
It's more of a midfield-centric game now, I guess, than it was in years past.
Yeah,
it is. It is. It's a very technical game, and you can see that the advent of tactics, particularly the tiki-taka as well, it was so hard to beat with that high ball possession that you've started to see. Like, you've got Klopp's heavy press that he plays, the gang press, which is fantastic to watch. Liverpool, everyone comes up with a little thing. It's weird if you watch AFL, the technical development in AFL versus the tactical development in soccer. They're polar opposites. Everyone adapts their tactics very quickly in the round ball game.
Yeah, AFL, like, you go back sort of 20 years ago, the game was very much end-to-end. Now you watch it now, and you got teams just getting, like, 15 players behind a footy. Like, you'll have like, say, a ball up at the half-forward line, and the opposition team's got their entire team in the back half of the field. Like, just stuff like that. Whereas you go back to, say, the early 2000s, every game is just, end-to-end. Like, it's just, kick down one and kick down the other, and there's none of that really. Like, Paul Roos in that regard really changed the game.
Yeah, there's been some developing coaches.
Because he got the Sydney Swans to back-to-back grand finals, playing very sort of slow defensive football, getting mean numbers around the footy. I know I was like, this is boring. This is just shit to watch, blah, blah, blah. But now every other team just plays that way.
Wasteful corner from Czech.
So his quite boring football became the norm in Aussie rules, as we've seen, like, recently.
What is he doing there? Krau wins the corner for Czech, the Czech Republic. Tell you what, it's weird. I'm still used to Czech Republic being Czechoslovakia. That is old. That is old. But don't want to offend any Czech Republic onions out there. You are now a republic. Corner swung in here.
How long ago did the Czechoslovakia split into two different countries? Was that during World War II?
No, I believe the sovereign state of Czechoslovakia, it changed. Pretty sure it became the Czech Republic in my time from memory. It became the Czech Rep. It's a good question. Let's have a look. When did Czech Republic become the Czech Republic? I know it was in the noughties that they started being referred to. There we are, 1993. I knew it was my lifetime. Another corner here. Over everyone. So, looks like it could be a 0-0 half. You should never say that. If my pop was alive, he would go, man, oh, and there's a goal! I was just about to say, if my pop was alive, he used to say, never call the score before it's happened. Patrick Schmick from Leverkusen breaks the deadlock. Scotland 1-0 down with 4 minutes left in the first half. As Jim Faz asks, what would be more disappointing? Scotland not getting a point or Carlton finishing bottom six? Carlton finishing bottom six because we've got 2 games to fix it and a half. Oh, dear. What a header there. It was a routine one as well. The into the mixer, fortuitous, and it's an absolute great header, you've got to say, by Schick there. Look. Boom. Gets up early. Bottom corner. Tough to save, but should have been cleared from that corner. Scotland's deficiencies from the set play, and we know that 53% of Czech's goals came from set pieces. During qualifying, they're a deadly set-piece side, and it's happened again. Patrick Schick. Well done, son. So, Scotland, it all to do. 1-0 down. Never good. People falling over everywhere at Hampden Park. Come on, boys. You can't do this, man. Has he got the legs? He has. Wishful ball. So it hurts. Rocco, why am I so calm? On live stream, mate, I can't be my usual ostentatious self. But just so you know, the chair is being peeled while you're watching. It is being peeled. So 5 attempts on goal for Scotland, only 1 on target. It kind of paints the picture as the ref here is having an absolute bubble with this free kick. That hurts, boys, that. So yeah, Scotland build up. Scotland need to really... You don't want to go into a half. It's a horrible time. Feels like a Carlton game, this, Rocco, if you're watching. Red time goal. It's classic Carlton. So 2 minutes to go. And what do you guys think of the half so far?
Been pretty decent. Could see more clinic. Well, I mean, aside from Czech's goal, could probably see more clinical finishing from both sides. But I think it's been pretty decent, pretty fast paced, pretty entertaining. Probably more fast paced than what we saw when England played Croatia last night.
Well, both sides definitely giving it a go and played a positive brand, which is good to see. As O'Donnell here with the throw, conjure up some magic with seconds remaining in normal time before stoppage.
I'm curious if Scotland go like 0-1 after the first round, if they probably play more aggressive in the second game against England, because they'll need a result in the second game.
Definitely will need a result.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll probably change their tactics, maybe play a little more aggressive.
So
although you have to factor in England's sort of counter-attacking game.
I think what
especially with pacey forwards like Rashford and Sterling.
I'd fancy us against them, just purely if we score early. I'd fancy us to put 11 men behind the ball and soak it up. Genuinely, apart from there, we are very defensively astute. We're quite hard to break down. As it looks like the first half is going to come to a close. Go on. If anyone's watching as well, you want a reason to support us, Lyndon Dykes there. He's Gold Coast born. Oh. Well, we've come alive with 2 minutes to go. I think it's 2 minutes stoppage, they've just said. So we've come alive. We've come alive. Well, that there, look, you see, look, the Perlo, look at him. Dancing through the centre back there. Look, dancing. Pink boots and all. Rate it.
Pink boots.
I'll rate it. Not in my lifetime would you see that. That's
I miss the old classic 2012 Adidas F50s, man. They were some nice boots.
Mate, when I was a kid, you were not allowed any boots other than black. Like my pop went mental when I got a pair of white boots. Went absolutely nuts with me.
I like those fluoro orange. Nothing beats fluoro orange boots.
You got to be good.
You stand out from a mile away.
You got to be good. And at halftime, there, the boys' late goal from Leverkusen's own Patrick Schick. Great name as well. Beautiful name. And that'll be disappointing for them. It was we know set plays are Czech Republic's. Well, it's their strength. It's their strength. It's what they're known for. We've had a bit of susceptibility in recent games, but a poor way to end the first half for the boys. Unbeaten in the last 5 matches as well. So worry for them. It is a worry. How did you guys see that?
Oh, it was a good half of football. Both sides attacking. Scotland were unlucky. They had a clear-cut chance that they didn't take. So yeah, basically what Jules said a minute ago, that both teams should be more need to be more clinical going forward in front of goal. But apart from that, it's been a very good end-to-end game.
Yeah, it hasn't been too slow. I mean, compared to say England, Croatia, it has not been too slow of a game at all. So yeah, pretty decent watching the first half. I'm kind of hoping it stays like that in the second. I don't want to see it kind of slowing down the second half.
I hope Scotland bring on Billy Gilmore, because
Czech might kind of sit back and maybe just look to grind out a 1-0 win. I'm hoping Scotland kind of go for it.
We'll definitely go for it.
Given that they're a goal down, they're probably gonna be more attacking in the first half. They might bring on a more attacking-minded player. They might look to sort of play in Robertson more to get him to get some crosses into the box. I definitely think they'll change their approach in the second half.
We've got a lot of attacking options on the Pine as well. We've got young Che Adams there. Premier League fans will know him from Southampton. He knows where the onion bag is. So they've got some attacking options. Gilmore, as you've said there, from Chelsea as well. Might be a little bit of creativity that we're probably lacking in there at the moment. I don't think Stewie Armstrong, Southampton boy, he hasn't really given us much as of yet. I'll let you guys just talk amongst yourselves. I just need to nip off to the little boys' room, and I'll be back in a second, boys.
Rightio.
All right, let's bring up some of the topics, shall we?
So we have Kane to Juventus. I'll just list them. Kane to Juventus, Sancho transfer talk, Gerrard staying or leaving, declining quality of the Premier League, will Leicester ever qualify for a Champions League, impacts of COVID on football, Genie to PSG, who will leave Liverpool this summer, what do you know about England after having watched yesterday's game and how they'll do in the rest of the Euros, Macedonia's first goal in the major tournament, Tierney at centre-back, the whole saga of Ronaldo and Juventus, how they've spent a lot of money on him, but they haven't really won a champion. They haven't won the Champions League as a result. Who would replace Kane if he were to leave Spurs, and who we predict will get relegated in the Premier League? Which one stands out to you?
I will start on the topic of Macedonia scoring their first goal in a major tournament, and it's the first ever major tournament as well in this Euros. And their all-time top goal scorer, Pandev, was the one that got the goal for them too. And they have some good players. I don't think they'll make it out of the group stage, but they do look. They have some players that could potentially see a transfer to a big league. They have some very talented players in their squad. It's just their squad depth isn't that good, and they don't have good players all around the pitch. But a big moment for Pandev. He said he's going to retire after this tournament, so to score in his first ever, not just his first ever, but their country's first ever major tournament. What an honor! What a legend! Good on him.
Plays for they have Alioski at Leeds United. They have 3 Serie A players. They have some La Liga players. Yeah, their players aren't playing in the heights of leagues. Look, they got a player in the Albanian league. They got players in the Cyprus league. They got players in the Hungarian league. They got players in the Macedonian league. They don't appear to be sort of one of the standout European countries in terms of football. I know Georgievski represented them, but he hasn't for a few years.
Harry Kane to Juventus. That's an interesting one. To me, I just can't see. I just can't see Harry Kane leaving England. I don't see that. I don't see him leaving England.
They already have Ronaldo. I think the question is, does Juventus need another forward, or they need to address other parts of the pitch?
If I was in charge of Juve, I'd be looking at centre backs for sure. Their defense is getting Chiellini and Bonucci and all of that. They're just too old.
We'll just pull up their team from Wikipedia, which may or may not be currently accurate. So goalkeepers, Szczęsny, Carlo Pinsoglio, and Buffon. Defenders, Chiellini, Delight, Alexandro Danilo, Quadrado, Bonucci, Demiral, and Frabotta. And the midfielders, Arthur, Aaron Ramsey, Weston McKennie, Chiesa, Rabiot, Rodrigo, Bentancur, Federico Bernardeschi, and Dejan Kulusevski, and then forwards, Ronaldo, Morata, Dybala. That's it. Then you have 3 forwards. So, not really the deepest of teams from what it seems.
How we all doing, gents?
They have Chiellini Delight at centre back. Oh, I'm talking about
Yeah, Chiellini's too old. Like he's getting up there in age. They need to Delit's good. He's injured at the moment, which is why I didn't feature for Holland last night. They played a young, I think he was 18-year-old centre back, and he actually did kind of well. So he's one to watch out for as well this tournament. Young Ajax centre back.
There's some great players in this tournament as well. I thought Mbolo did really well as well at Switzerland.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's really coming.
I think Juventus could really use midfielders, if anything. I mean, yeah, probably do need defenders. I think they need midfielders as well. I mean, they got Aaron Ramsey as a midfielder.
Yeah, and Aaron Ramsey isn't bad. He's not a bad midfielder.
I don't think he's like a one that's going to win your Champions League, though.
Well, there's talk he's coming back to the Premier League this year. There's talk he's coming back. So I'll be interested.
I don't think throwing big money at Harry Kane really addresses Juventus' problems. I think if they sign him, they don't really win a Champions League. They just maybe win a Serie A, but that's it.
Yeah, it's
because that's kind of the big prize I've been chasing. Because other than this year, they've been basically winning Serie A every year for the last decade until Inter Milan won it this year. But the big prize they want is the UEFA Champions League. I don't think throwing big money at Harry Kane really addresses that problem.
I think United need I think they need a lot of people. I think United do. I think Kane will end up at United though. I know there is the link at Juventus, but I think Kane will end up at Man United.
How many of United's current players really belong in a league title winning team or a Champions League winning team?
It's tough.
I don't think Maguire belongs in a title winning team.
Maguire's good. He just needs a fast centre back to partner with him.
I think that's their definite weak area.
Just give him a fast partner, and he'll because when he plays next to Eric Bailly, he looks 10 times better than when he plays next to Lindelof. Like he needs a centre back partner that complements his game.
I'm watching I feel very privileged here. I am watching the Scottish coverage. I am. So thank you, if you are watching, to my mate Andy back home, who was giving me his access to Sky Sports so I can listen to wonderful Sky Scottish coverage. It's good to hear. Don't often get that. Don't often get the privilege. So this game then, Scotland actually dominating possession in this. I mean, that goal was disappointing. The Czech Republic are a huge threat from set plays, as we discussed earlier in the show. Scotland need to come back though, don't they? As we said, we've got a tough group, Croatia and England in this group. Disappointing from the boys. They had a few chances though, didn't they? Early doors.
I think this game is must win for Scotland because they're looking at like getting draws at best in the next two games.
Don't worry, we'll beat England.
So I think I don't even think like a draw's goal result. I think they have to get 2 goals in the second half and actually take all 3 points home.
It's tough.
If they finish third, there's still a chance technically, but even then, like. You're looking at like mathematics of how the third place teams do in the other groups.
Yeah, I think
this is must win for Scotland, honestly.
Well, I mean, I think Scotland had some moments though. You've got old Robertson there, the captain, 89% at the moment, pass success. Probably our best player currently on the pitch at the moment. He had that shot that was saved by Vaclik in goal there. So he's been an attacking threat. We probably need a bit more, though, from Lyndon Dykes at the moment. He's our main target up forward.
Hasn't one that can get onto Robertson's crosses.
Yeah, well, that's Dykes' role. I don't think he's had a bit of controls issues today. We're also looking for a bit more, I'd say, from Big John McGinn. We know John McGinn was sensational in qualifying, 7 goals from 10 games. Major reason with that. Close game, probably don't deserve to be behind, but that's me being biased as always. Disappointing though that the Czechs, we didn't clear that. Hanley and Cooper all watching.
Level at the break, it's just the lack of finishing.
Needs something in the second half. Needs something. So let's say fire in your questions to us and the lads, and we'll do our best to answer them. We've got one here. Vidra will be dangerous. Well, we know that Vidra, Czech Republic, he banged them in, didn't he? He was in my fantasy side for a while. International level doesn't quite transfer over though. Only 6 goals in 35 appearances for the Czech Republic, but is someone that is a danger, isn't he? I don't know if you guys watched much Burnley last year, but he likes to bob up for a goal.
Yeah, he does.
He likes a little bit. He likes a goal, but I mean, back to Scotland. They've got a lot of work to do here, but signs are there down that left. That left channel is where we will be looking to do some damage.
Yeah, Robertson's side seems to be the most dangerous side for Scotland.
We do love going down that left. So it's going to be an interesting game. The battle of Kufal and Robertson will commence. I reckon that could be the one that wins or loses this game for both sides. But it was a routine goal, I think, from the Czech Republic. If you watch their qualifying games, they scored a lot of goals like that. It just goes to show that if you don't clear from set plays, you will get beaten.
What's going on, boys?
Here he is.
I thought you weren't joining.
Yeah, I'm enjoying here and there. I can't be on for the whole show, but I did take a few points. I think if England finish, so I kind of changed my my prediction for the winner of the tournament because I realised, I looked at the fixture, if England win the top of the league, finish top of this group, every game but I think the semi-final is at Wembley. So that has to be an advantage for England. Yeah, that's got to be the advantage. And I reckon I see Scotland coming back from behind. You think of it, who's McTominay play for? Man United. Who's the best team at coming back from behind? Man United. So McTominay is used to it. So I see them coming back, and then I see Billy Gilmore coming on as well. Billy Gilmore's
if he comes on, he'll change the game.
I think you'll see Gilmore and Shea Adams will be the two major changes that he'll bring on. I think mercurial player McGinn, he's been a bit quiet this game, but you can see there, we just talked about Shea Adams. It looks like he's going to come on now. I'd
straight away.
I'd hope here that you might see Chris.
The game now if they bring on someone straight at half time.
Yeah, I'd hope to see that we bring Christie off, Ryan Christie, number 11, and we have. That's a good choice there.
Yeah, he doesn't look very good, does he?
Here he is. So Ryan Christie. That's what happens when you trust Celtic. They let you down.
I do have to admit though. I don't know if you guys saw my comment, but I reckon Dan was thinking this in his head when they scored. Dan was thinking shit, and the Czech Republic fans were like, "Schmick."
Yeah, it broke me. Set plays kill you.
That was, yeah. See, they're all like Czech Republic remind me a lot of Australia. You look at the Socceroos, and basically the only goals the Socceroos score is it's against a pub side like Paul are from headers. It's been that way since Viduka and Kjell retired. It's just Timmy Cahill just banging in headers, and now it's just us crossing it to the big centre half in Harry Souttar, him scoring headers. Like Czech Republic are a lot like the Aussies, but honestly, you're gonna hate this, me saying this, Dan, but I honestly feel Czech now that they're obviously they've got the advantage being 1-0 up. If they win this, I don't see where Scotland are going to win. I don't see Scotland. I don't see Luka Modric losing another game. I don't see Croatia losing another game, and I don't see England losing to Scotland as much as it pains me to say that, because I like McTominay. I don't see England. They've got too much attacking quality, you know, and obviously there's a rivalry there between England and Scotland. They're not going to want to lose that game. So.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And Marshall's just kept us in it there with that save.
Yeah, he's a good player, Marshall. Very good player.
That shot a fucking venom on it too.
It did. Oh, there he is. O'Donnell just throws him away into the stands. That's what you want to see. Oh. Tell you what, Marshall's made a couple of good saves already.
Yeah. But do you agree with that point that I mentioned about England? If they finish top of the group, it's basically in their hands. It's basically theirs to lose because, like I said, everything's at Wembley.
I disagree.
You don't reckon?
France and Portugal's squads are just too good.
Yeah, but the advantage at Wembley has to help England, doesn't it? It's like if United get into a Europa League final and it's played at Manchester.
Does it though? Because Chelsea beat Bayern Munich in their backyard in 2012 to win the Champions League. Like, the home ground advantage isn't everything.
Oh, go on, Che.
Like, I get where you're coming from. Yes, it in hindsight, it should help England, but it might hinder them because then the pressure's on them to go out and win. It all depends on how they react.
Robertson is something else, isn't he?
Just isn't the start of the second half so far.
Yeah.
Sally,
who's 24? Is that for Scotland?
What for us? Jack Hendry.
Yeah. I've got you've got who's on the bench? What's his name?
Ryan Fraser.
Fraser, yeah, he's another player.
Yeah, Ryan Fraser. He scored last fixture when we beat them 1-0 last time we played him back in 2020. Scored first 6 minutes, and we played 11 men behind the ball and ground out the win. It was a great 4:00 in the morning watch for me.
Tell you what, he's gunning for it.
Going for it, yeah. 2 minutes.
At least they're not sitting back like England the whole year.
We give it a go under Clarkey. He doesn't mess about. He gives it a go.
With what I said on Scott McTominay, I can see that happening. He's used to. Oh, what a save! Literally, that Czech keeper just kept England in that. Just kept Czech Republic from lead intact there.
Tell you what, the own goal nearly there.
Yeah, he just kept them in it. Literally, he kept the score line, kept them up. I'm saying would have been a good strike if he was at the other end.
Robertson's literally come out, hasn't he? He's doing a captain's thing at the moment.
He's had a good second half so far. We're only 5
Yeah,
minutes
he's
in.
getting involved more.
Do you see then, with the way Robertson's playing, do you see any? There's obviously no room for Kieran Tierney unless he's going to play right back. But who's your right back at the moment? It's
Yeah, they play him centre. We usually play him centre back. He's got, I think he's got a hammy injury at the moment. He usually plays where Grant Hanley's playing. He usually just plays behind Robertson.
Yeah, he's good, Hanley. I rate him. He's at Norwich. Use him on Football Manager. He's pretty good. I tell you, John McGinn's been pretty quiet this game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He is, yeah. He was our leading scorer in qualifying as well. He was banging him in from midfield. He was like a young
quality.
Frank Lampard.
He's literally quality.
It's like a little fat Frank Lampard. He was, John McGinn.
Yeah,
he's also been banging him in for Aston Villa as well.
True.
He needs to get into it. If we can get something from him.
Someone's injured. Is it Hanley? I think Hanley.
I think you guys are 5 seconds ahead of me at the moment.
Did Shea Adams come on? Did Shea Adams come on? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for Ryan Christie.
I'll fix the thing there. For Christie, is it? What number are you wearing?
11.
11.
Shea Adams is wearing number 10.
10.
Yeah, Shea Adams is 10.
Bit of an overstretch there from Hanley, but he did well there. He managed to kick number 5 at Czech Republic there, the Kufal from West Ham. He kicked him in the shin and then kicked him in the head on the way down. So the old saying.
Yeah. It's a bit rough. I can't wait to watch the England-Scotland game. That's going to be a rough game.
Should be a great game as well. Always great games. Always great games between the two.
I'm disappointed. I wanted to see some Scotland fans with the William Wallace face paint.
There's a few there if you look. There is a few, few there.
I reckon you make a bet on blue or board, Pommy, that if Carlton ever make a granny you with a William Wallace face paint, but dark blue.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it for the boys.
Or if we ever make a final, because it won't happen.
Well, I mean, it'd just be nice. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if we made a final.
I just realised, is this a coincidence?
Oh,
That,
hang on.
it's a goal! It's a goal! Who's
That's
this
a horrible
Schnick
goal,
again?
too.
Scotland fans again with the shit in their mind, and fucking Schnick goes, fuck you. How do you score that, man? What a goal.
And it was a horrendous turnover as well, and from the halfway line.
Oh,
The shot got
that's
deflected.
bad. That is ridiculous. Who turned that over? Is it McTominay? Doesn't show. It looked like McTominay.
I think it was McTominay.
No, the Scottish
Hey,
players.
that's the thing.
That
like,
might be goal of the tournament.
I know you like McTominay, but even at United, I don't rate him. Yes, he's got heart, but literally, Scott McTominay gets the ball and passes it back 5 meters. You know, he's like Jorginho. Jorginho literally.
It wasn't really a turnover. So the Scottish player shot for goal from outside the box. It got deflected by a Czech player, and then it rolled towards another Czech player. Just went from there. It wasn't really a turnover. It was just a deflected shot turned into a counter attack. They would keep going.
Yeah, but on my
Goal of the
point,
tournament.
McTominay reminds me of a lot of Jorginho. You know, not a very good player. All he done, Jorginho broke the record for most possessions or something in a game because he kept passing back to his centre back like 1,000 times. Like, you know, you want to be in McTominay. As much as I like him because of his heart for United, I don't think you win a major trophy with McTominay in the squad. To be fair, like I think for Scotland he's a good player, but for United personally, I don't. Just this is my personal opinion. I don't think you win anything at United with him in the squad. As much as I like him, even if Fred with Fred in the squad as well, you don't win anything. You know, that's what Jim was saying before. I reckon United go for Declan Rice. We're going to pop a centre half, and then they are in the hunt for Rafael Varane as well.
Dex won't go to United. He has too many friends at Chelsea.
Never know Chelsea, but if
And he was at Chelsea's youth academy as well. So
Tell me
if he's going to
something,
go
those,
anywhere, it's going to be back to Chelsea.
Those quilts that they wear in Scotland, is that like a religion or something, or?
It's just a traditional. It's just a traditional part of our dress code. So,
It's like how they wear garbs.
and it's basically usually the pattern represents what part of your family are. So everyone's got their own pattern.
Did you like wearing it? Were they comfortable? Or?
They're not bad. You wear them usually on a special occasion. A few weddings, I've donned one.
That was almost game over then.
Yeah,
Those things in the middle of winter.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's always cold.
Does that make Schick the equal leading goal scorer with Lukaku for the league, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. He's one off taking the lead.
Calm the Scotland. Well done, Beachy. Great to see you there, mate. It's nice of you to pop in.
Oh, bro, I can't. This game is Scotland's got to score soon, man. If Scotland can score soon, I see them coming back. But, you know, the longer it goes, the harder it's going to be because I can see the Czech Republic just basically sitting back. And this guy here, Kufal, he's good.
They're playing. They're playing good. It's all in their court now, though, because they've just got to put men behind the ball and they'll be fine. And that's the heartbreaking thing when you're 2-0 down.
Yep. I tell you, though, if it weren't for their keeper, it would have been 1-1.
Well, I mean, we had a few chances. Robertson hit the bar at the start of this half.
Yeah. Can you guys see Schick scoring his hat-trick on the 62nd? He's got 42, 52. Do you see him getting 62? But, like, you know, if it's going to happen, it's going to be on 62. I just got to admit, like, unfortunately, we don't get to see Haaland in this tournament. I reckon if Haaland was in this tournament, he'd score like 10 goals in freaking 2 games. He did it in the
goal scorer in the tournament.
He did it in the under-19s World Cup. He scored 9 goals in 1 game.
Oh, come on, ref. Let's play fast, man.
Is this being played in Glasgow?
It is, yeah. It's Hampden Park. So,
is it Rangers ground?
Hampden Park is literally just a neutral ground. So
like Wembley.
It's like Wembley. It's our version of Wembley.
Oh, you should have gone for the bicycle then, Dykes.
Oh.
Was Darren Fletcher? Was he a good player for Scotland when he played for Scotland?
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, he was always. Yeah, he was always there or thereabouts. Always putting a shift for the boys.
Reminded me a lot of McTominay. I got to admit that. McTominay reminds me a lot of Fletcher.
He is, yeah. He's definitely a box to box.
Oh,
Yeah, a bit heavy that cross.
that was, I don't know, that was like a hit and hope. He put that in. I don't know what he was doing.
He whipped it. He whipped it in.
Yeah. Who was it? Right back. I think.
Serious face from the referee there as well.
Yeah,
and there we are. Robertson's giving it to him. Which,
he went down a bit easy. I have to admit that.
Which is, we know what Robertson's like though. He loves doing it. I mean, Shea Adams though, that cross. Look at the venom on that.
Yeah.
Just showing the replay.
Tell you, if you're talking about Fellaini before, Fellaini's in there. That's a goal. Is he playing for Belgium? Is Fellaini in the Belgium squad?
I don't believe so. No.
I love Fellaini. I was at Man United, the Man United game against Sunderland, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve, Boxing Day 2016, when we beat Sunderland 4-0 and Mkhitaryan scored that overhead kick. And I remember when Fellaini came on, everyone was booing him when he was warming up. And my little sister, she was little at the time, and I started shouting, "Marouane Fellaini, he is a legend." And then everyone just started clapping for him. It was great. I actually rated Fellaini. I think he got too much stick for United. I honestly think everyone made him the scapegoat. He wasn't as bad as everyone made him out.
He's a tree. He literally stood in the middle of the park, hoping the ball hit his head.
That's what Giroud does. He scored some crucial goals for United. I honestly feel like he was hard done by. Much like Kenny a few, except he never scored.
Giroud's won a Puskas Award.
Fellaini's not someone that United fans would ever get behind because he doesn't play he's not like a technical type of player. He's more of a physical player.
It wasn't. No, that's the same as
United fans like players who can play like midfielders who can play 30, 40-meter passes. They don't like some guy like Fellaini who just slows the game down. And,
but Cavani's effective, Josh. Fellaini wasn't effective.
That's the thing though. With Fellaini, he I feel like it was that bad era of David Moyes era. The bad era. I feel like everybody used him as the scapegoat for that. They were hard because of that era. If he was signed by Sir Alex, although Sir Alex probably would never have signed him, but if he was, he wouldn't have got the hate that he got. But because he was signed, the first signing in that really bad era under David Moyes, a toxic club culture era that was really bad, I feel like that's why he got so much stick.
But you got to remember, Moyes inherited a team under he inherited Fergie's team. Although it did win a title in this last season, wasn't that good of a team. It had Tom Cleverley in midfield and an aging back four.
It was a poor team. It was a poor team. Really, Fergie milked that team. It
overachieved in 12-13.
He was just a wizard.
Van Persie won them the title.
You're a wizard, Alex. How's it go? You're a wizard, Alex.
Yeah,
Harry. You're quoting Harry Potter.
Yeah. Now I tell you this Czech Republic team. Some of these players, I reckon, after this tournament, if they keep going like this, they're going to get some big moves. I don't know half these players, but like I was saying last night with it's like I was saying last night with West Ham fans when he was on that the likes of James Rodriguez and Gidley Machoa, the Mexico keeper in the 2014 World Cup, who are unknown people. I loved football. I knew everyone. Oh,
that was close.
Puts it over. Armstrong, he's a good shooter too. But it's like I was saying, those unknown players in that tournament, that they use that tournament to basically get their big moves. That's what I like about these tournaments. You always get players that are very highly unknown, like Mbolo, right? Not many people knew about Mbolo. Look at that goal he scored for Switzerland. That was a good goal. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Yeah, and he dominated Switzerland. There's so many times he would just turn them and go down the centre of the park. He dominated Wales. Right? And Wales aren't a bad side. They're okay.
They're relatively young if you look at their age.
They were. I think they were favourites over Switzerland as well.
They didn't play like it.
Who was Switzerland got? Granit Xhaka, seriously.
Well, Wales didn't play
like
it.
What a save! Oh. What a save! Hey, I'm keen to see David De Gea in this tournament. I really am. I reckon this
tournament. Don't get your hopes up, Josh.
He'll play. Kepa won't play.
don't get your hopes up. He'll play shit just like he has all season for United.
I don't reckon. He hasn't played. He didn't play that. He played one bad game, like the last.
He's made more mistakes than he usually does this season.
Yeah, but that Champions League game we made 19 saves. That was the prime De Gea. That was, and I am critical of him because he can't save penalties, but everyone's going him because he didn't score the penalty. Like,
I reckon he'll do all right. He'll probably do all right for Spain, but
yeah, I reckon
the reason he doesn't do well at United is because United have 2 number 1 goalkeepers, and it just doesn't work.
That was a point I didn't raise last night. I want to wait for Tommy to come in. Who do you see as United keeping? Who do you see United selling? Do you reckon they keep Hendo or do you reckon they keep David?
Say them names again. Sorry, you cut out.
I was saying, who do you see United keeping this year, Hendo or David De Gea?
I think they'll sell De Gea. I think they'll cash in on him. I really do. Yeah, I really do think that United will probably go the younger way. I think that's what he's trying to build, Solskjaer, and I think I hope he does.
I don't rate Henderson though. To be fair,
I didn't mind Henderson.
If we're gonna go for a young keeper, I want him to go for Donnarumma, but he's gone to PSG now.
Yeah, PSG. I agree with you. I mean, I think they have to go young. I do think they have to go young.
I hear that they're bringing Tom Heaton back as a bloody third choice.
Doesn't surprise me.
If they do get rid of De Gea, for me, the second choice, if he's happy to be it, is going to be Sam Johnson from West Brom. Like, he's almost single-handed. I know he got relegated, but he almost single-handedly kept West Brom in the Premier League, almost by himself. That guy is a quality keeper. I feel like they're going to bring him back as a second choice, but because they got rid of Romero, who I think was a bad mistake.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, I think there's a lot of work to be done with that team.
Yeah. This Scotland team are surprisingly not attacking as much as I thought they would be. I can see them. Do they have a who's their substitute striker? Do they have a big centre forward on the bench, like a target man at all?
No, we don't. That's what we use the old Aussie for.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if they did, I could see them bringing some tall dude on, just sticking him up front, going all out, just full on attack, just lobbing the ball in open for some headers. Old mate Aussie's he's not that big.
Nah, he's big and strong though, so that's what they try and use him to hold the play up, but he's obviously not doing that.
He's decent for QPR. Is it QPR he plays for? I think it is. Yeah, he's decent for them.
Yeah, he does well. Does Linden, old Lind, our Aussie Scot.
What about Jason Cummings, the other Aussie at Dundee? What's he like? Does he play for Scotland? He's only played 2 games for Scotland.
Yeah, he's all right. To be fair, like for strikers, traditional strikers, we've probably not got a huge abundance of them. If you look in our league, a lot of them are foreign nationals, particularly a lot of English guys.
Alfonso Morales, yeah.
And then we've got we've got a few South American superstars.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like Australia. We don't really have we got Boyle, but we took Martin Boyle from you, but he's not really a striker. He's more of a winger, Oh, that's a goal. Oh, how does that not go in?
The young class is scoring, just can't put it in the net.
Oh mate, how do you miss that?
I'll tell you what, there's not much you can do.
Yeah. If while I got people watching too, I'll leave too, so you can open it up to fans coming on for a few minutes to have their say if they want. So just it's up to Pommy, but like
do it.
That was the idea of the page. You can have up to 6 people in, so maybe 3 at a time. And if we get a few people, then obviously just go like 5 minutes each, and then. But if people want to call in, just I will post the link in the comments, and Polly can post a link in the comments, and whoever wants to come on can come on and have a say. That was the idea of this page, not just us talking, but the idea by fans for everyone to have their say, because part of the thing that we wanted was, people were able to have their say on a safe space without getting abused or things like you do on Facebook. A lot of times that happens to me. You have your opinion on football. Callum McGregor's on. I thought it was Billy Gilmore. But you have your view on things of football, and people, go off on you. So I know a lot of people don't really like having their opinions, but this is a safe space for anyone to come on. And too easy. I'll catch you boys later. I'll probably join after the game.
Cheers, so no Gilmore this game. Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. How's the game going from Andrew?
Now?
You're killing me, Andrew. You know how the game's going. We're 2-0 down. You're killing me, bro. Cheers, Andrew. Good of you to join. We just can't get the just can't hit the back of the net. So 23 minutes to go. Needed to pull an old rabbit out of the hat. As they say. It's been disappointing from the boys as Big Fraze comes on. He's got a history against this side. Let's hope he can do it 3 times. He did it in 6 minutes. So if he can do 3 in 18, we'll off him. Over to you, Ryan Fraser. But it's been disappointing, I've got to say, from a perspective of the blue side here. It's been poor. It's been good in stages, but the 2 goals.
I think nothing's really been consistent for Scotland. It's just kind of on and off, periods of good play, periods of bad play.
Yeah, and the 2 goals as well, defensive lapses.
In the first 5 minutes in the second half, they came out blazing and then kind of cooled off after the second goal, and it's been kind of flat ever since.
It's been tough. It's been tough to watch. Oh, dear. Have you got 68:30 on your clock?
68:41.
Okay. I'm like 5 seconds behind.
Fair enough.
That's all right.
We may have seen a potential goal of the tournament, though, in this game.
Yeah, old Schnick. Yeah, it's halfway line. It was almost Beckham-esque, wasn't it? Beckham from
from back there, though. Must have seen the keeper off his line.
Yeah, he would have looked up, so the keeper off his line is like, nah, I'm just going to dig it. And
Marshall generally does play quite deep as well when we've got the ball. So 20 minutes. Come on, boys. Build something as we punt it long. Come on, boys. Nice little build-up, this. Surely that's a free. Jesus. No love. No love from the ref. Must be the colours.
Czech are making a double substitution now.
It hurts. It does hurt. Double subs, eh? I mean, that's bold. It's bold, and I rate it. Come on, Lyndon, you got to do something, man. I know you're against 2 players, but impact yourself, mate.
Have you noticed that the ball is the same, very similar to the 2014 World Cup ball?
I've not noticed that at all.
Actually, now you say it, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it has the same patterns. It's just a different shape.
Lyndon Dykes literally has 2 left feet. He must have the worst ball control in world football. Come on, boys. Oh, my gosh. The basics are leaving Scotland at the moment, under a bit of pressure. Andrew asked, does Scotland need the Southgate play style? What, 11 men behind the ball? Could go that way. Probably won't help us at 2-0 down, though. John McGinn with the big punt down. Asking a lot of Robbie there. This is hard to watch, this, boys. I tell you, almost in tears. Czech, bring on 2 players. He's had a good game as a Yanto as well. He's done some impressive stuff. Had the nice shot outside the area at the start of the game as well. Decent hair as well. Can't they take off old Schnitt? That'd be great. Can you take him off? Oh, it's been poor. It's been poor from Scotland. A lot of work to do. I agree, Chris. You might as well park the bus. 11 behind the ball. Keep it at 2-0. Think of the goal difference. All important. Come on, boys. Surely a big last. Surely a big last couple of minutes here. Can they do it? Yes or no, Brendan?
Can they do it?
Yeah.
Whoa, it's tough. It's going to be tough.
You've got to believe. What about you, Jules? Do you think we can do it?
I don't know. Just nothing's really stood out. Like they've gotten close to scoring, but like it just seems like it's not their day.
Ooh.
Like they have tested the keeper a fair bit. I'll give them credit for that, but I just don't think it's their afternoon. So I'm thinking it's probably just 2-0 for Czech at this point.
I'll rate that though from Dykesy. Look, the old elbow accidentally to the skull, but he looked at him as he did it. I rate it. He's drawn blood. Well done. Sometimes you've got to leave a mark. This hurts though. 17 minutes to go. Come on, boys. Pull something out. We've got a Czech guy here, which I'm not even sure what that means. If anyone can speak Czech, let me know.
What language do they even speak? Is it German?
I don't know. I think they actually speak Czechoslovakian. I actually think they have their own language.
Yeah, I think they have their own language as well. Just put it, just copy it and put it in Google Translate into English.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We're doing it now for you.
European countries just speak like they don't have their own language. They have like borrowed languages. Like in Austria, they speak German. In Switzerland, they speak, I think, French.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't get anything.
In Cyprus, they speak a mix of like Greek and I think Lebanese. I think the Armenians speak Turkish.
Come on, Scotland. We want a happy Dan to head to bed tonight. I agree, Beachy. I agree. To be fair,
actually, I think the Czechs speak Slovakian, if anything, or Slovak. I think they speak Slovak.
It's an interesting debate. Evidently, there is a
it's not
Czech.
English. Put it that way. They speak in bloody English.
So look, what is the native language of Czechoslovakia? Official language is Czech. They do have their own language.
Oh.
Miffin, if you speak English, let us know what that is in English. That'd be grouse. Oh, come on. No one's at the fall of the ball, boys. It's way too easy.
Yeah, they've really just switched off.
Clark
So this will actually, if the scoreline stays the way it is, this will put Czech top of the group on goal difference.
Oh, that won't remain. They'll probably drop points to Croatia.
Yeah, I think they'll draw. I think they'll get a draw against Croatia. Croatia aren't that good. Like Modric is old now. Mandzukic doesn't play for them anymore, so it's like
the blueprint is set.
How much change there from their World Cup team?
Basically, Modric and I don't even think Rakitic is in their squad. I think it's just Modric.
Yeah, Rakitic
and Perisic and a few others like that.
Their entire forward line against England, their front third against England were all like Serie A players.
Big 15, boys. Come on. You can do this. Bring it home. O'Connell. You beast. Give me a big long throw.
One guy's going down.
Oh, it's so poor. I mean, look. Our ref, we're allowed to do that now. We just like headbutt people in the head. Thank you. Can we book him? Here's a home game. Bit of bias.
Yeah, you worry about those bloody home Scottish fans.
Surely
If
you
they
book
get
him.
if they don't get the red cards their way, they might start riding. I don't know.
I want to see a riot.
Oh,
Wait. Oh, nah.
Scott McTominay.
Gaz McTominay.
Should have scored. He should have scored that.
It was a great ball as well, into the dangerous area, and McTominay doing McTominay things.
Yeah, he couldn't keep that low, could he?
Asking it for the corner. Love it. Right in. And there it is. That goes into Rose head. Come on, boys. That never even looked like being close.
Wait, did you get 4 subs in this, or is he coming on, or is he just going
Yeah,
through?
you get 4 with the COVID rules.
Or is it 5? I think it's 5, isn't it?
It's extended. I think it might be 5. I don't think anyone's taken the full 5 though, from memory. They've all been good.
I don't know. It was 5 in like the Champions League and the Premier League, but I don't know about international. Maybe it's different.
Chris, haven't been to Glasgow, but I know Edinburgh will go nuts if tell you what, Glasgow and Edinburgh, massive football towns. So both of them passionate. Obviously, you know, Edinburgh, they've got some wonderful sides out there, as Hearts of Midlothian, as we know, one of the Edinburgh sides. And obviously, we have the wonderful Glasgow Rangers, and unfortunately, we also have Celtic in our neck of the woods. Always a shame. Got to share the town with them. So 11 and a half minutes to go. Oof. Come on, boys. Here he is. Come off the moment, come off the man. Big James Forrest, another Celtic man. So Celtic make up a lot of this side, interestingly.
Yeah, that's 5 subs. They've used 5.
O'Donnell makes way. O'Donnell's had a good game as well. I think that's a little bit stiff, but... And obviously, our Australian friend comes off, and our only other striker left, Kevin Nisbet, comes on. Big Kev. Can he conjure something? Good old Nesbitt, the Hibernian man. Three games at 1 goal for Big Kev for Scotland. 10 minutes to conjure something. Oh dear, it's been a tough watch. Horrible ball as well, that. Running out of ideas. So Scotland going to have a lot of work to do if the score remains the same. Tough game against England, as we know, but anything can happen in them. Very rarely do they...
Just because of the rivalry. Well, not rivalry, but like the probably competitiveness, because they're both like neighbouring countries.
And Croatia at the end. So definitely need a minimum of 4 points from them 2 games to stand a chance.
I mean,
that could have been 3.
Oh dear.
That guy had too much space out wide.
Should have probably been 3 as well, but great save by McGregor. Does his work. Goes about it quietly. Oh, he just couldn't get it under control. Chris Beach, England versus Scotland will be the main event in this group. It'll be a ripping game, and something that we always do arrive for. It is a game that you can bet your barn dance to it, that we will approach it with the vigour that it intends. Feeling a bit flat, though, I've got to say. This was a winnable game. We've beaten them twice in the last 2 outings, only within a year of each other. And it's been poor, it has to be said, at home. We love the background you've made there, Josh. It looks good. I like it. I'm right under the Scotland flag as well. I'll rate it. Come on, boys. Send the fans home with something. Just feels there's been a real lack of penetration from the middle, and they're having to feed off scraps. Don't know what you boys think.
I think it's just they're playing more of a wide game instead of a through the central game.
I just feel we've lacked a little bit of quality in that final third. Looking at Messers, McGinn, McTominay particularly, just haven't really given us anything X factor in that final third to the boys up top. Tell you what as well, on the overlap, Czech looks so good. I think that's more how high up we're playing, but so 7 minutes to go. Separated in the half by a good header from Schnick, and then a moment of disaster from McGregor as Schnick, just from inside the halfway, got a nice half volley goal, which you don't often see.
Ooh.
Still fight though from the boys. The boys are first to the ball. First to the ball, which is good to see. Was an excellent run there as well. An absolute brilliant run. It's what you love to see. You love to see it.
Oh, that's...
James Forrest giving it large. Absolute lovely ball, though, from Robertson to James Forrest that set that attack up. And Forrest did well. And it was followed by a poor corner. And he must have stayed on the ground on that corner for about 20 seconds. It was a lifetime before he got up. James Forrest, though, on this replay, really should have done better there. He did some wonderful work to get through everyone. You want to see that go top bins. Painful. Question for you guys. Do you feel there should be one channel for every tournament league on Optus? Yeah. Back in England, it used to be like that for a while. BBC used to hold the rights for all major tournaments and kind of took it over, and then they sold it. I think for the revenue, though, you've kind of got to split it up, haven't you? In today's game. Don't know what you boys think. Would you like to see just one dedicated channel for sport, for soccer? Or would you like to see multiple? Or are you happy with the multiple ones?
That's what we kind of have. The sport just basically gives you coverage to everything.
No, just on one channel, though? Just one set bit of coverage?
I don't know. We don't really have that. We just kind of have like online subscription, and like that one service just gives you everything.
I wish Shay Evans there's got to take the game on more. Like, why is he passing there? Just be brave, son. Been some weird decisions inside the final third, I have to say, tonight. Don't know if that's nerves, but hasn't been what I would expect. As we come into the last parts of this game, a lot of work to do for the next couple of games, particularly against England. England will feast on these defensive lapses we've shown today. Player of the game then, boys. Let's talk about it for both sides. I'd imagine Schnick gets everyone's vote for player of the game.
Yeah, Schnick for Czech, and for Scotland, probably Robertson.
What about you, Brendan? Where are you going with the Scotland votes? If you were giving
Yeah, probably Andy Robertson.
I think that's unanimous. I'd say Andy Robertson's been fairly sublime for the boys. He's been a rare shining light in an otherwise dark day. As Schnick leaves the ground, probably a bit harsh not to let him try and have a go for his hat-trick, but probably deserves the round of applause. He gets quite a generous round of applause as well there from the Hampden Park faithful. So very, very knowledgeable crowd. Good performance. Come on, boys. Get me one goal.
Tell you what, there's been some worldies scored in this competition already. Yarmolenko scored an absolute rocket last night.
He did.
Against the Dutch.
There's been, I've got to say, early doors, this Euros has probably been one of the better international tournaments that I have seen for a while. But I mean, there's the case in point there. 63% possession this half for Scotland. And they've done probably sweet bugger all with it. As there, Robertson again with another cross that doesn't miss the right man. McGinn runs over the ball and it's a turnover. And this is going to be worrying me against England if you start doing these turnovers. Come on, Robertson, get the ball in, bro. It's a deep cross to absolutely no one. He tried. So we're coming to the last dying stage of the game. It's been a tough one, hasn't it, boys, this one?
Yeah, it's been a tough one.
It's all right for you. You're a neutral.
Yeah, I am a neutral.
I guess.
It's been a tough one.
No, but it has been a tough one. Like Scotland had chances to score. It's just they didn't take them. And
good saves by their keeper as well. Got to say, he's had a good game as well.
Yeah. Just makes me think. Imagine if they had this squad and Czech. Like, wow.
Some good players come from the Czech Republic. Karel Poborský, back in my day, he was a great player. He was. Old Karel.
Petr the greatest Premier League goalkeeper of all time, in my opinion.
He'd be close. He'd be up there. But Schmeichel was good when I was a kid.
Yeah, Piers Schmeichel was good.
David Seaman was very good as well.
Good.
There you go, boys. I've got the score up the top now, so that's what I was saying. I was trying to do. That's why I left.
And we're deep
oh no! I thought I was going to have to change it again.
And we're into stoppage time.
Yep. As you guys get to see, everyone that's watching, it's 2-0 Czech Republic.
Oh dear. Great save though. I tell you what, Marshall has had one moment of absolute chaos, surrounded by moments of brilliance. A typical Marshall game. That is.
Is he at Rangers?
Derby.
He's at Derby.
Derby.
Wait, who was it's McLaughlin, wasn't it, that got them into this tournament? The keeper, he made like a really good save to get him into the tournament or something. Was it him?
Yeah, he's the other keeper. It's controversial though with our goalkeepers. I mean, I'd say Marshall probably is our best goalkeeper. It's tough though. It's tough. The makeup of this side is close to our best 11, which I think hurts the most.
Did Gilmore come on? Gilmore didn't come on.
No, he didn't come on.
What numbers he wear? Do you know? It would have been good. Has he played for Scotland yet? Has he made his debut yet, or?
He's played. Yeah, he played. He got hurt in the game against Israel, but that's why he's not. I don't think he's starting today.
23. Yeah. Craig Gordon, he's the other keeper I was thinking of. He's good.
Yeah, Hearts.
John McLaughlin. Yeah, I reckon McLaughlin's probably your best keeper. Greg Taylor, he's a good player. Scott McKenna.
Tell you what, there's a hell of a lot of stoppage time to make us be punished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tell you who I didn't see much of. Liam Cooper. I didn't see much of him. The Leeds boy. I think he's Leeds, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Liam.
Yeah. I didn't see much of him when he was on.
Well, I mean, there's a few players there that will probably say. I mean, Liam Cooper's still on. He's down there, number 16. He's had a bit of a quiet game.
I didn't see much of him. Yeah.
It's been a tough one, and you never want to see that at a home game. The opposition fans having a time with life. Old mate there.
What's it like going to a Scotland game? Do they play the bagpipes there and everything? Or?
There'll be little bits like that, dependent at the start. There would have probably been like a little bit of pre-game entertainment.
Yeah. Would have been cool. Like, I know I've always wanted to go to like a big, obviously before when COVID's not around, like a big like I went to obviously United Sunderland, which wasn't that big because Sunderland was shit. You know, like I always wanted to go to like a derby, like the Old Firm derby would be great to go to. Although there'd probably be a lot of fights and shit there, but you know, whether they separate the crowds, like
it's getting better. It's getting better. It's not as bad as it used to be back in the day.
So it's not. Is it like the AFL where everyone just mixes together, or do they separate the fans?
100% separated. 100% separated. You'll never.
Which is what they're thinking of doing at the AFL with all the fights that are going on and everything. Yeah.
Well, are there fights going on at the AFL?
There's always reported fights and stuff that go on.
How big? Like 1 or 2 fans, or like a collection?
Oh,
There was a one a few years ago. I don't know if Polly remembers this one. That Eddie had, and they were like fighting near the pubs and all that. There was a massive all-in brawl with like heaps of fans and shit. Like they outside one of the bars. I think it was the one with the roller doors and stuff. I remember seeing it on the news and just, you know, but they never report it much. They report it once, and then I bet there's a fight in the soccer that reported for like 20 years.
Yeah, we do love a little scrap at the soccer, though. We do.
There's a media bias, I think, between the World Game and AFL. The keeper just got injured for
AFL
Czech
does control
Republic.
the media, to be fair, so there's that as well. Well, they don't control, but they have influence in the media.
Tell you, I sense a goal coming for Scotland. I sense a consolation. It might even be Liam Cooper, the way I've been criticised. Who's Nisbet play for? Wasn't he in Norwich or something?
Nisbet plays for Hibernian.
Oh, Hibs. I thought he was in England. Maybe.
Big
I know Hisbet where Boyle and Hibs where Boyle and Jackson Irvine are.
Yeah, building a good side down there at Hibernian.
Yeah, who's their coach? Is it
Hibernian? Their coach is Jack Ross, I think, from memory.
I thought Neil Lennon, he was a good coach. I thought at Celtic.
He was a brilliant coach last year for us. That was awesome. I love his work.
Czech take all 3 points, eh?
Heartbreaking there.
2-0 win.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, not much to say really. I mean, too little, too late from the boys. They tried till the end, but just lacked that quality in the final third, and a lot of work to do for when we face England coming up. I reckon it's going to be interesting to see how they respond
after that second goal. I think
took the wind out of the sails. They came hard after the break, but unfortunately, some of the basics left us. Can't get past the first man in the court in a cross is always going to hurt you. Too deep. There's some players there at the moment that should have really taken their opportunity. A lot of work to do now because they always say 4 points gets you through or gives you a chance. So they're going to have to get a result against Croatia and England now. There's no sitting back. So next Friday's fixture with England will be absolutely imperative for the boys, which obviously is in enemy territory at Wembley. It's going to be tough.
Yeesh.
So, final thoughts, boys.
Yeah, I think Czech Republic played well. I think both teams played well. Could have gone either way.
I think Scotland were a bit like when the goals got scored, it just deflated them. I think they were a bit average, honestly.
Yeah,
Well, the first goal they were good, but other than that, like
I think it definitely took the wind out of the old sails,
they
unfortunately
don't
for the
seem like
boys.
a team that can be like trailing and sort of get back into a game. But they don't have that sort of mental strength to them, I don't think.
We've done it a few times over the last couple of years, particularly since Clark's there. But I think them two goals hurt. I think them two goals hurt as well because they were defensive lapses. I mean that you should clear your lines from a corner. We didn't. We let it go deep and let them get it back in, which hurt us. It was a routine cross, routine goal, and then the Schnick goal's a freak, but it hurts. It hurts big style, that halfway line goal. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Well, I mean, cheers, guys and girls. Thank you very much if you've been watching us for 2.5 hours. That's appreciated. Thanks, Jules. Thanks, Brendan. And we'll be back next week with the Euros game.
No worries. Take care.
No worries.
Cheers, guys.
Yep. See ya.